Hello my dear students, good afternoon. Now we will discuss about phenols chemical properties. Okay, so we will discuss about chemical properties of phenols actually. So actually before this phenols nature we should know. So phenols, if you see C6H5OH, and this has intermolecular hydrogen bond like this. Suppose I am here O and H. So between this hydrogen and O there is a intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So we call as H bonding, that is between these two. So due to this hydrogen bonding, what bonding this is? Hydrogen bonding. Due to hydrogen bonding, phenols have high boiling points than haloarenes. If you see this phenol, actually phenol C6H5 and OH and C6H5 and Cl, if you see, who have more boiling point, if they ask, you have to say this phenol has more boiling point. Why phenol has more boiling point means due to intermolecular H bonding, hydrogen bonding actually. And moreover, phenol's nature we are talking. So that means these are all called like physical properties we are discussing. So I told chemical properties. Of course, in chemical properties, yesterday only we started. What is that? Phenol can react with metal easily because phenols are more acidic than alcohols like that. That is one of the chemical property. So here we are discussing about some physical nature of this phenol. This is one phenol and this is another phenol molecule, and between these intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there. So even the molecular weight of this chlorobenzene is more. This phenol has more boiling point. What is the reason? Hydrogen bonding. Same story. These phenols can soluble in water actually. Why phenols can soluble in water? Same story. What is that story? These can dissolve in water. With water they forms intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, but chlorobenzene, like, they cannot form much stronger hydrogen bond, but phenols can form strong hydrogen bond with water. So intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there. So here phenols can soluble in water. Okay, so phenols boiling points are more than haloarenes. Okay, and if the number of carbons increases in phenols, then solubility will decrease, because I told you yesterday in previous also, if number of carbons increases, hydrophobic nature increases. Certainly what happens? Then hydrophobic nature increases means dissolving nature in water decreases actually. Okay, and one more thing, what is the physical state of phenol? Phenols are acidic and phenols are, liquids, exist in liquid state actually. Why? Same, due to hydrogen. They have extra bonding actually. What is that extra bonding? Hydrogen bonding. Okay, so due to hydrogen bonding, phenols exist in liquid state, and phenols have high melting and boiling points, and phenols can soluble in water due to intermolecular H bonding. Okay, now we have to discuss about some electrophilic substitution reactions in phenols. In phenols, electrophilic substitution reactions takes place at what position? At ortho and para. Do you remember? Just yesterday I was given this phenol C6H5OH. Correct. So what happens? This lone pair will migrate towards benzene ring. These pi electrons will migrate towards this carbon. So this carbon gets a negative charge, and between this carbon and oxygen double bond, and on oxygen positive charge. So what happens? You can understand here. So here double bond and double bond, this double bond and this double bond won't change, and here double bond OH plus, why on oxygen positive charge, understood, lone pair migrated. So here you have negative charge. Why here negative charge? Why here positive charge? You must know everyone. So on oxygen positive charge because lone pair donated towards here. Why double bond between oxygen and carbon? Because lone pair came here. Okay, these pi electrons migrated over here, so this carbon gets negative charge. So from that you can understand one more structure. These pi electrons will migrate downwards because this carbon should be positive, because this carbon is negative, so here should be positive. So these pi electrons must move towards downwards. Certainly you have C6 and here C6H5 and double bond OH plus, and here you have a negative charge. Why at this carbon negative charge? Understood? At para position you have, this is ortho and this is para. At para position you have negative charge. Again these pi electrons will move towards upside because here should be positive. Positive and negative, new double bond. Certainly next what happens, this C6H5 will become like this. Oh no, sorry. This pi bond will shift here, and here you have a negative charge, and here you have a double bond OH plus. Next what happens, can you guess? So this negative charge will go back. Certainly you are having this final and this and this and this alternative pi bonds, and you have C6H5 OH, and here you have a lone pair retains here. That's it. So this is a phenol again. So from these three structures, what you understood? Negative charge you have, negative charge exist or present in resonating structures. Negative charge present at ortho and para positions in resonating structures. So therefore what we can say, negative charge is present at ortho and para. So next incoming electrophile. Electrophile means positively charged or negatively charged. Electrophile means electron deficient, positive or neutral, but electron deficient. Electrophiles means like SO3, neutral electrophile, but electron deficient. I was given or not in previous. So next incoming electrophile will substitute at ortho and para positions. This is very important. So next incoming incoming electrophile will substitute either at ortho position or at para position. So why I given these resonating structures again, understood? So to have more clarity. So you have negative charge at ortho, negative charge at para, again negative charge at ortho. So these electrophiles means either positively charged or neutrally charged, means no charged species which are electron deficient, or we call them as Lewis acids. Okay, Lewis acids are electron acceptors or not? So those actually. So what is the final conclusion? Next incoming electrophile will substitute at ortho and para positions during electrophilic substitution reactions on phenols. So suppose if you see nitration, see what happens if you see nitration. In nitration, nitro group will substitute either at ortho position or at para position actually. So now first we will discuss about that only. What is that? We will discuss about nitration. So electrophilic substitution reactions, in that first one we are discussing about nitration. So what happens? Phenol C6H5OH when react with just dilute HNO3 enough actually. Actually, nitration mixture means H2SO4 plus HNO3, 1:1 ratio. But here phenol itself has it. So there is no need of a proton donor actually for it. Getting what I am saying? So itself can donate a proton to this. So nitration can easily happen. So dilute HNO3 if you taken also, nitration happens. So no need of H2SO4. What I am saying, understanding? Actually nitration mixture means H2SO4 plus HNO3, nitration mixture. But here dilute HNO3 is enough to have nitro group substitution at ortho or else at para. C6H5 and OH and NO2. These two can easily separate because the solubility in water is different actually. So what happened here? In this, between this hydrogen and oxygen, there is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding actually. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding is present actually. But here in para-nitrophenol, this is para-nitrophenol. In para-nitrophenol, what hydrogen bonding, you know? Intermolecular H bonding actually. So solubilities are different. This hydrogen and this hydrogen should be form hydrogen bond with water, then only it can soluble in water. But what happens here? This hydrogen is busy with this oxygen. Between this oxygen and nitrogen, there is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding. I will show you clearly this. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding. COH and N double bond O, single bond O, NO2 means. So between this hydrogen, so this is hydrogen and this is oxygen belongs to nitrogen. Between these two there is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intramolecular H bonding. So among this para-nitro is water soluble. So they can easily separate. Okay. So who is forming hydrogen bond with water? This one. Certainly this has more boiling point comparatively to this. So by dissolving in water itself we can separate them. In water this will dissolve and if you heat this will evaporate. Understanding what happens here? So mixture of these two compounds you are having. In laboratory you taken phenol and for the dilute HNO3 you added. The reaction happened and mixture of these two products you got. Some quantity you got. How to separate them? Just by adding distilled water. When you add water, with water this para-nitrophenol form a intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. Okay, but this one has already, this hydrogen is already busy like this. Hydrogen is already busy with this oxygen. So this cannot form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. So because between this hydrogen and oxygen there is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So if you want, I'll show you that how this form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. This is OH and OH and H. So this is hydrogen belongs to phenol and this is oxygen belongs to water and between them there is a hydrogen bond. This hydrogen bond is called intermolecular H bond. Again, some phenol if you take like this oxygen of phenol and hydrogen of this has a hydrogen bonding. This blue color hydrogen belongs to water. This black color oxygen belongs to phenol. This blue color oxygen belongs to water. This hydrogen belongs to phenol actually. See this, between hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen bond. Actually this hydrogen belongs to whom? Phenol. If you want, I'll write different hydrogen. Understood? This hydrogen and oxygen, these two belongs to phenol. Okay, phenol actually. So between this phenol hydrogen and oxygen of water, between hydrogen of water and oxygen of phenol, there is a intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So who is soluble? Para-nitro compound is more soluble in water. So got it clearly? So here we are discussing very important things. Phenol when react with dilute HNO3, you are having orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. Okay. So para compound is major and para compound is stable, and para compound can be separate easily because para isomer is more soluble in water due to intermolecular H bonding. But whereas ortho itself has intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intra means understood, within the molecule between two groups hydrogen bond exists. That is called intra. Okay. So next nitration only we will discuss. C6H5OH when react with concentrated HNO3. Concentrated HNO3 means in nitration, do you know who is the electrophile? The electrophile is NO2 plus. So nitration in that nitro group NO2 plus is the electrophile. That NO2 plus, if you use concentrated HNO3, then certainly NO2 plus concentration is more. So more number of electrophiles are excuse me, more number of electrophiles are possible. So the substitution is taking place at all ortho and para positions like this. Why 3 you got, sir? Only 1 we taken. No, we taken 1 mole, means many Avogadro number of molecules you are having HNO3 and moreover concentrated. So many electrophiles can be produced. So all positions, 2 ortho positions and 1 para position can be substituted with NO2. This is called what I told you in previous, picric acid actually, picric acid. Okay, picric acid is also called 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Why 2,4,6 understood? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, picric acid. Actually, both are strong acids, but you can increase yield by using first sulfonation, then addition of HNO3. How to increase yield I am telling. For phenol, first we will do sulfonation, C6H5OH. For that, we will add concentrated H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Then what happens, see what we are doing, more yield means more acidic nature we are increasing by adding sulfonation, means by adding H2SO4. So OH you have here, and here SO3H, and here SO3H. Sir, here also SO3H will come, sir? No. So sulfonation is the SO3 neutral. Any one of the ortho position can be substituted because SO3 is a neutral electrophile, somewhat less reactive, that's why. But NO2 plus is strong electrophile. So that nitration can be takes place at both ortho and para. Means 2 ortho positions and para. Now if you add concentrated HNO3, what happens, do you know? Nitration takes place. Now nitration at both ortho positions, means 2 ortho positions, means NO2 and NO2 you are having, and NO2 you are having picric acid. So here you have picric acid, no sir? And why you are using this process? Means to increase more yield, means to increase the quantity of this picric acid, we use sulfonation. Simple reason, nothing. It will be more acidic when compared to the direct phenol. For direct phenol, if you add concentrated HNO3, this will come. Understanding? But less yield, means less quantity of picric acid you are having. So, but first sulfonation, and then if you add Mr. HNO3, then the sulfonation increases concentration or acidic nature of this phenol, so that when you add concentrated HNO3, more yield of picric acid you will have. So this is about so if you want, please write down. I'm erasing every time, so please sorry for that, and have a screenshot and write down please. So why you are doing first sulfonation? The sulfonation we are doing for what purpose? To increase more what? Yield of picric acid, that you have to write. Okay, so have a screenshot and write down. So now I will go for one more, that is hallucination. What is that? Hallucination. Very important. Hallucination means like bromination. There also Br plus Cl plus is electrophile. Do you remember? So next one is bromination. Here also same story. When phenol treated with bromine in presence of carbon disulfide CS2 or CCl4. Simply CS2 is organic solvent or non-polar solvent when you are taking, because they'll ask you like this: phenol when react with bromine in presence of non-polar solvent, they won't give CS2. Simply they'll say phenol react with bromine in presence of non-polar solvent, then what is the product they'll ask you. So you are having Mr. phenol and bromine at either ortho and bromine at para like this. So OH and Br. 2 bromophenol or 4 bromophenol. Ortho bromophenol, para bromophenol. Understanding names? Ortho position and this is para. Ortho bromophenol and this is para bromophenol. Okay, but if you use same phenol, we are taking C6H5OH and I am adding Mr. bromine in presence of some water. Bromine water they will say. Commonly what they will say? Simply bromine water. Bromine water given. This is polar solvent. What solvent this is? Polar solvent. Phenol with bromine in presence of polar solvent like water if they given. Then like picric acid at 3 positions you have nitro group. No, here at 3 positions you have bromine. That means you have a compound like this, C6H5OH and bromine at para, bromine at ortho. 2 ortho positions bromine and 1 para position bromine. So this is also 2,4,6 tribromo phenol. There is no like a common name is not there like picric acid. Picric acid is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, but here 2,4,6 tribromophenol. This is very important. And for phenol there is one more reaction, phenol with chloroform, that is a Riemann-Tiemann reaction, RT reaction. So this year NEET exam also you have one question. Okay. So phenol with chloroform, the reaction is a Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Simple question given. So like that you will have a question. Next is Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Simply RT reaction, Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Very simple. I will give you in words first. Phenol with chloroform and base. Base like sodium hydroxide or KOH. Sodium hydroxide means NaOH or KOH. You are having salicylaldehyde. What is that? Salicylaldehyde. Remember that one. Phenol. What I said, please remember. Phenol with chloroform, CHCl3 and base like sodium hydroxide. Then you will have C6H5OH and CHO. This is what? Salicylaldehyde. Salicylaldehyde is the product. Okay. So OH and CHO at other position, salicylaldehyde is the product. Very important. And in this electrophile is CCl2, dichlorocarbene. Neutral. So lone pair is there, it is electron rich, no sir, it is nucleophile, no sir, no. 2 chlorines means Cl and Cl, one lone pair like this. Electron pair, carbenes we call them. 1, 2 and 3, 3 pairs. One bond means one pair, no. So 2 bonds means 2 pairs and one lone pair. So total 3 pairs, 3 2s are 6 electrons. So dichlorocarbene is the electrophile and that dichlorocarbene will add on that ortho position and you will get salicylaldehyde. and I will give mechanism also very clearly. You have no need to worry. But instead of this is what CHCl3 chloroform. Instead of chloroform, if you use CCl4, then you know salicylic acid is the product. C6H5 and OH. If you use CCl4 and NaOH, you are having this C6H5 and OH and COOH. What is the product? If you use chloroform, salicylaldehyde. If you use CCl4, tetrachloromethane. Tetrachloromethane or methane tetrachloride like that. Okay. Here the product is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is the product. So both you remember. And here the electrophile is CCl3. Okay, CCl3 plus is the electrophile. Remember, here dichlorocarbene is the electrophile. These electrophiles also they will ask you in Remer-Trimmer reaction. Please remember till this, and just one or two reactions we have like cold base electrolysis and just alkylation, and one more thing is esterification like that. And afterwards we will enter into carbonyl compounds next chapter. So firstly we will start that introduction as well as two reactions in one class I will do, so that we can manage time. So almost phenols completed. So alcohols and phenols chapter almost completed. Just remember these are very important, and you should know the difference between when you use in Remer-Trimmer reaction, when you use this chloroform, what is the reaction, if you use CCl4, what is the reaction, you must know, and practice all these things. In our next class I will start carbonyl compounds. Thank you.